G'day there, my name is Pete Moriarty, and today we're going to be covering security basics that you should know and that everyone should know if you're a small business owner. Now, for us, we are a IT consultancy. Our name is IT Genius, and we help small and medium-sized business owners with all of their tech. Now, you'll see here our mission is to help small business owners really get ahead in the tech world by making sure you've got the right technology in hand so that small business owners can play a bigger game. And we have played a bigger game ourselves. We've scaled a small business to now quite a large operation just by using excellent technology strategy and, of course, business strategy in there as well. Now, we know that businesses go through lots of different stages of growth, and at each stage of growth, there's different types of technology challenges that come along as you go through those different stages. And so we've created something we call the Growth Roadmap. And the Growth Roadmap is basically your way of knowing what technology you should be focusing on based on what area of business you're at right now. And so from here, we basically have your guide as to what kind of things you should be focusing on as you and your business grow and develop. Now, in this video, we're going to be covering mostly things that are appropriate to launch businesses and startup businesses. This is getting the real basics right before you go into building a business. Now, if you're a larger business and you're out of the launch phase right now, that's totally fine. If you've grown to a larger scale business, these are the kind of things that you want to make sure that you have ticked off and you want to make sure that your team know as well. First thing I'm going to share with you guys is the different types of evil IT guys. Now, why are we talking about evil IT guys for security? Well, because most business owners are not actually in control of their tech. Most business owners kind of abdicate their technology to someone else to manage. And one of the first steps in getting the basics of your technology right in your business is actually making sure that you have control of what's going on in the business. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't go to someone to get support or go to someone to get help. But what it does mean is that it's advantageous for you to be empowered to know what's going on with the tech in your business and then actually be able to direct and instruct whoever is working with consulting to you for your tech strategy. Now, we talk about evil IT guys because they're the kind of like the typical IT guys of yesteryear, right? And unfortunately, these guys still exist. Don't know how, but unfortunately, they do still exist. And they're the kind of business owners who, in their technology prowess, believe that they're better than others. And what I mean by that is, they can talk down to customers. They, have very, very biased opinions on the kind of technology that's right for a business. Technically, I probably fall into that category considering we're very much in the Google camp. But most technology, evil IT guys, we call them, are actually, they're scared of you being empowered. And so they'll do the kind of things where they hold on to all of the keys, like, the administrator passwords, or maybe they even register your domain name in their name, under their account so that they actually own it. And we've had many customers come to us and have to divorce themselves from their previous IT consultants. And so the challenges with that is that what these IT consultants can do is actually leave you in a disempowered position where basically you're not in control of what's going on with your tech and you're completely at the behest of what they say. Now, we've had customers who have come to us and they've got all of their systems in the Microsoft world and they're interested in making the switch over to Google and utilizing Google Workspace because of all the great things that Google does. And they've had to have an uncomfortable conversation with their current provider because that person is holding all the keys. And there's even a fear that someone might, switch things off. And we've seen those kind of things happen in the past. So if currently you're in an abusive relationship with your IT guy, then you might want to work on that. And some of the things that you can do about that, I'm going to be covering in just a couple of moments. But I wanted to first kind of share, what is our ethos and what is our, what is the IT Genius way and how do we believe that tech should be approached from this angle? We want to make sure that as much as possible, all of your tech is within your control. You are the master of your domain with your technology. It means that you have control and access to your domain name. You have control and access to your DNS, so you can update or change settings if you need to. You have administrator access to your Google Workspace account if you're using a Google account through us, through our reseller portal. So basically, at any point, if you decide, hey, it's not working with me and IT Genius, then you can, with one button, we can just basically release your account and then it's all straight back under your management. But you have full access to do everything inside your account while it is managed through us. And so that's basically our way of saying, we don't need to have any hooks into your business just to do business with you. You're able to do it all yourself. And then it's absolutely up to you should you choose to stay or leave with IT Genius. So let's talk a little bit about some of the different types of evil IT guys, and you'll get a bit of a fit for who we're talking about. So number one is the box huggers. And these guys are the guys that are holding on to the past. They don't want to change. They're, kind of more Microsoft centric, in that they want to roll out local domain controllers and servers and things so that you don't have access to, all the different ways of working in the cloud. Nowadays, we can use tools like, even if you're in the Microsoft world, you could use Azure and Microsoft's online tools for authentication and for usernames and passwords. But specifically in the Google world, we use Google Workspace, formerly G Suite, for all of our logins and administration. And it means that that's where we set up our groups, that's where we set up our users, that's where the centralized accounts are. So we're never reliant on one area of the business or one physical location for the actual security of the business. What it means is that if you've got an internet connection problem at the office, or maybe you've got a situation where things go down, even if there is local infrastructure in your business, and something goes offline there, then you can always access your logins and your security and your emails from wherever you are. So box huggers are those guys holding on to the past, or girls, but mostly guys who don't want to change anything. Next up, we have the control freaks, and these guys we see a little bit more as like internal IT staff. So this is probably someone that's working inside a company. Maybe it's a more mid-sized or larger type business, and their IT person just wants to control everything. Sometimes this is the spouse of a business owner, and we've seen this many a time over the years, where this person just wants to basically control absolutely everything, and they hold all the keys to the kingdom. Now, what can happen there is, unfortunately, the IT and the technology strategy of the business can become a little bit of a black box, because that person is basically running everything, and the director of the business or the business owner doesn't get the opportunity to voice their opinion in technology strategy. So you want to watch out for the control freaks. The third kind of evil IT person is the noobs, and so this is probably like, your brother or your sister, or maybe your web developer down the street who says, I can do that because they can Google things, and maybe you've got like a nephew or a niece or someone who's pretty savvy with things, as millennials are, and they just want to get in and kind of do things themselves. Now, for the most part, they could probably get 80 to 90% of your technology needs taken care of. However, they can fall down in some pretty critical areas. Now, what we find is when we take on, for example, a Workspace account from someone who's set it up who doesn't really know what they're doing, they often miss out on some pretty basic things like configuring DNS records correctly. Now, DNS is a little bit of a dark art. If you follow the wizards online, you can get probably like 70% of the way there, but the critical last 20 or 30%, things like SPF, DKIM, DMARC, all of these protocols to make sure that your emails actually land in people's inboxes are often skipped by those people who don't really know what they're doing. And so they're the kind of things that we are always constantly cleaning up when someone comes to us and says, hey, can you do an audit on my Google account just to see if I've set things up correctly? We're always cleaning up things like DNS and making sure that things are set properly. Now, the next one, and this is another more of the typical IT guys, are the overbuilders. These are the guys who want to take your budget and just spend. Basically take all the money that you have available and build a brilliant but overly complicated technology system for your business. And myself personally, I'm a minimalist. I like to keep things super simple, and I'm a big fan of doing things as cost effectively as possible. That's why our service is extremely cost effective. Many IT consultancies will charge you $500 or $1,000 per month for like a full managed service type plan. And yeah, sure, that's suitable for more mid-market and larger size businesses. But for small businesses, if you've got less than 15 employees, then you're probably looking for something pretty cost effective as you're investing in the growth of your business. So that's why our concierge service starts at just around $100 a month for you to get unlimited IT support and access to our consultancy team for everything technology in your business. So the overbuilders are dangerous because for an uneducated business owner, they can be spending way too much on their technology. And we often have businesses that come to us, if you think about maybe like a law firm or a medical center, and they've got 20 or 30 staff, and they're spending $50, $60, sometimes $80,000 a year just on their IT support and consulting. And that's just, in my opinion, absolutely obscene. And so we're really on a mission to realign the expectations of business owners as to what the actual cost of technology is. Okay, so let's talk about the last and the absolute worst IT consultants for your business, and that's you. Sorry to say, if you're trying to do absolutely everything yourself, it's A, probably not good use of your time, but B, it's probably not the best skill for you to be working on. The happy middle ground that we like to aim for with our customers is to empower business owners to know the basics of what they should know, but for the actual implementation of technology, work with an implementation partner. Now, that might be a consultancy like IT Genius, or it might be a vendor, or it might be someone who works with a specific piece of software that you work with. But I like to bring you back to the point of when you manage the finances in your business, you're not doing all of those yourself. You work with an accountant, you may even work with a bookkeeper, and you have someone else take care of some of the, the kind of grunt work and the implementation. But it's your responsibility to make sure that you're actually wearing the hat of the strategy. And the buck stops with you. When you put your tax returns into the tax department, you're the one who has to actually sign it. If you've not noticed before, your accountant has zero responsibility for what goes into the tax department. You're signing off on those company accounts every year. So I want you to take the same kind of approach to your technology. If right now you have everything kind of abdicated to someone else, it's time for you to start educating yourself, and watching videos like ours on our channel is a great way to do that. But it's also up to you to be involved in the strategy and for you to be driving the strategy of your business. What we know is that there's a massive opportunity right now for small and medium-sized business owners to use technology as basically the core of their strategy for growth in their business, because there are incumbents in every industry that are slower to adopt new technology. They might have been slower to adopt the cloud. They might have been slower to move away from paper-based processes to online processes. They may have been slower to take advantage of international team members and other markets for talent and labor, which can really help you to get ahead in your business. And we've got heaps more videos on that and education on that on our channel and inside Genius Academy. Now, for you, the business owner, you want to liberate yourself by making sure you have your technology in control. That's number one. But number two, you're educated on the strategy. So finally, what you can do, let's talk about some of the things that you can actually do. If you have an evil IT guy and they're responsible for all of your technology right now, first thing that you can do is to educate yourself. We've already talked about that. Watching videos on our YouTube channel, joining in our group. We have a private group. There'll be a link to that right below this video, so you can join our group of other business owners. And inside that group, we have exclusives, we have lives, and we have content before it hits the public open domain. And then taking control of your DNS and your domain name, so you make sure that the registration is actually in your name. It doesn't have to necessarily be in your account. It can be registered through someone else for a reseller relationship. That's totally fine. But you do want to make sure that you actually have the registration in your name, so you're the rightful owner of the domain name. Next up, making sure you manage all of your own administrator passwords. If you have a relationship with someone and they are managing your password for you, or your super administrator for your Google account, make sure make sure that one is in your name. And then finally, work on building yourself and your team to integrate technology leadership in your business strategy.